On January 1, 2014, Iowa will begin a transition from 5 to 8-year driver's licenses and ID cards. This transition was authorized by two pieces of legislation that were passed in 2013. Senate File 224 changed the standard term for a driver's license and ID card from 5 to 8 years. House File 355 authorized a period of transition in which driver's licenses will be issued for terms of 5, 6, 7, and 8 years to equalize renewal volumes in the future. To better explain what will happen and why, let's take a look at where we are now and what will happen during the transition and after. Our current renewal cycle is marked by significant swings in which annual renewal volumes that were caused by earlier changes in renewal terms that were not adjusted. As the chart on the right shows, the current 5-year renewal cycle has annual renewal volumes that range from a high of 530,000 to a low of 275,000. That's a 63% difference from high to low years. It's difficult to efficiently manage resources and maintain service with significant swings. The cycle shown in the chart will continue to repeat every 5 years if not altered. Our goal is to spread 5 years of unequal renewal volumes into 8 years of roughly equal and lower renewal volumes. The challenge is this: how do we pour 5 different size buckets into 8 smaller equal buckets? The answer is carefully and with some programming. Beginning January 1, 2014, the Iowa DOT's issuance system will randomly assign 5, 6, 7, or 8-year licenses to customers according to predetermined percentages for each calendar year from 2014 to 2018 to achieve an equal distribution over an 8-year renewal cycle. The system will assign the term of the driver's license issued. To make sure we get an equal distribution, customers will not be able to choose the term of their license. Here are some important details. Licenses issued to minors or to temporary foreign nationals are not included in the transition. These license holders have shorter periods set by other statutes. Because ID cards are a very small part of our annual issuance volume, ID cards will not be included in the transition and will be issued for 8-year terms only. The fee for an ID card will be $8. Commercial driver's licenses, also known as CDLs, will be included in the transition. As required by the legislation, a license issued to a customer younger than 72 cannot exceed the customer's 74th birthday. This means that at 67, the longest term a customer can get is 7 years, at 68, the longest term is 6 years, and so on. At 72 and after, the license term shifts to 2 years. The fees for licenses do not change. The fee will still be $4 per year for a non-commercial license, $8 per year for a commercial driver's license or chauffeur's license, and $2 per year for a motorcycle license. License fees have not increased in more than 20 years. Now let's take a look at what license distributions will look like during the 5-year transition period. During the first few years, the majority of licenses issued will be 5-year licenses, and during the last 2 years, the majority will shift to 8-year licenses. In 2014, we will issue mostly 5 or 8-year licenses with a small number of 6 and 7-year licenses. In 2015, the majority of licenses issued will be 5-year licenses, and the rest are expected to be 6 or 8-year licenses. In 2016, about 2/3 of the licenses issued will be 5-year licenses, and the rest will be 8-year licenses. In 2017, the tide will start to turn. About half the licenses issued will be 8-year licenses, and the rest will be about equally split between 5, 6, and 7-year licenses. 2018 will have about the same distribution. What happens if we don't go through a transition period to equalize renewal volumes? As the chart shows, the swings will be even worse. We will have 3 years of no renewal activity, followed by 5 years of the same cycle, and that cycle would continue to repeat itself every 8 years. This is exactly what we want to avoid. So let's get to the result. What will things look like when we get done with our transition at the end of 2018? In short, the answer is just what our goal was, a roughly equal and lower annual renewal volume. As the chart shows, we'll finish off our last big swing in 2018, and in 2019 our annual renewal volumes will fall to a much more even pace. The average annual renewal volume will fall from about 414,000 per year to about 259,000 per year, and the percent difference between high and low volume will drop from 63% to about 5%. As we reach 2019, these reductions will return savings to the state and to customers, an annual renewal value of about $1.8 million to the DOT in resource management and production costs, and about $3.4 million to customers in reduced travel and time to obtain services. Thanks for taking the time to learn more about our transition from 5 to 8-year driver's licenses and ID cards. If you have additional questions about driver's license services, please visit the Iowa DOT's website at iowadot.gov.